Welcome, Chelsea, to your astrological natal chart report. This is the Peace Dealer. I see right off the bat you have a very significant alien construct, so I have included in this recording, you're going to get an email from WeTransfer, and you want to make sure you look at these notes. Deity Soul is referencing your moon on Pluto and Scorpio, okay, that the South Node has unlocked. You'll see in that article, it says users of this soul. I have a version of this just in Capricorn. We could be dormant until an event awakens us. For you, that event, because you're suppressed by Pluto your whole life, is the South Nodal axis that's unlocking your soul as of the past 2 months. So you have access to all this stuff. You'll see, of course, the Pluto vessel aliens can sense negativity, discover their secrets, especially in Scorpio, where is it in its dignity. We also see you are a master 28 degree Libra rising as a master 22 degree legendary sun, because now the 12th house bears in this legendary quality, making you misunderstood because the nature of how you analyze is now hidden from the traditional nature of inductive or deductive reasoning, where you're going to be able to see into details in ways other people won't understand. And this is CIA energy. You know, the CIA is a Virgo sun, Scorpio moon, or vice versa. But basically, you understand the extreme wisdom in the analysis of the physical reality you're aware of. And so this is like high peak detective energy, but it's also psychoanalysis. Analysis is Virgo, psychoanalysis is Scorpio. So this is the vibration of pure mastery. Okay. The wisdom of mastery, or the wisdom of critique, the pure critic. Now you're in the social axis. So you have a social spirit, a social personality, and a social soul. You're social. Okay. Now this pure element of your soul next to Pluto is very rare, because personally, this puts you in a position to tap into the intensity of how deeply you can feel about yourself. Okay. It's beautiful because this helps you tap into your sense of worth. Since, like myself, we're late risings, using the equal sign system, this puts the rest of every house in the next sign. So even though Scorpio is a part of your first house, and this is the element of your soul you wear on your sleeve that you identify with, it's still an aspect of the soul wisdom you manifest. Okay. The sun in Virgo falling in the 11th is going to be this awareness of how the analysis brings together your friends and people who belong with you, but it transcends your beliefs about all that because it's ruled by the 12th house. Okay. So something to keep in mind, because you have amazing aspects here. You have the MC, which is your legacy in Leo. Your legacy is to be an inspiration, to be in the spotlight, which is cool as an artist, right? Libra rising is the artist, the balancer, the love goddess, the classic. If Aries is the original, Libra is the classic. So this puts you in a position with Mercury to align your powerful brain processing ability to the social axis of how you can take action and communicate. Okay. So with that being said, I also have 8 degree Mars in Aries, by the way. I was born 1990. You have a retrograde, I have a direct, but that's amazing. To see you having this trine 8 degrees Venus is very rare. And every time I do readings with Virgo, y'all have the audacity to just be so on point every time. You just have exact, like Virgo's precision and Scorpio's specificity. So like for you to have this on this and this trying that, it's a very good sign of how on point you stay. And I am jealous, like to see stuff like it's so amazing. I mean, that's a joke, but not really. It's really amazing. And I do admire that. So you also were born with the sun on the South Node. So you are bearing this real past life, early childhood lesson of taking your gifts of analysis and now challenging yourself to imagine beyond what's possible. Because it's very easy for you to get stuck in this paralysis of analysis because you're really good at it. You're a mastered at it. 22 degrees, 59 minutes, so close to 23. You know how to really account for, at a very divine, supernatural level, all the details of a situation to a point that this can isolate you because you'll know that how you see things, it's going to happen the way you see things. But the challenge is to remembering that doesn't have to always be that way. And you have the magic to warp this reality. The square is the challenge to envision unconventionally with Uranus, your ability to bust the system here. Andrew Tate is an example of this. He was trying to quote unquote break people out the matrix. That's because 86, 87, 88, those of you with this, you're here to Uranus, bust the system, Saturn. All of you are meant to do this. It's just his sun was in Sag, so he showed people with how he did that. Your sun's in Virgo. So this is going to influence how you understand the hidden meaning as a critic of how you express these unconventional ascended skill sets through visualization and your ability to show others your mindset. And now this really colors the way you analyze by showing you the possibility of what can be. And once you step into that challenge to surrender to what you analyze is and actually imagine based on what you know as a resource what can be, this creates magic. It's just if you get stuck in old narratives based on what you pick up, you'll forget that you are a supernatural level magician that can change whatever you want. And let me tell you something. This axis right here is reality warping. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not normal. There's nothing normal about this. You're already the vessel of Pluto and Hades here. So you're an alien. You're not from here. So it's just something you want to embrace, because the trap of Virgo is being too real. Is being too grounded, is taking things too seriously that you forget that this entire 3D model is not physical. Like, this is just a projection. Quantum mechanics has done more to prove that everything you're aware of is just a projection of yourself from beyond this place, because things that we see are really more, we hallucinate our conscious reality. So these are dynamics that with the Sagittarius magic, you'll be able to see the matrix codes and break in through. And with Jupiter and Gemini, you can expand the quality of how you communicate this truth to other people. So coming up with the ultimate reason why in the creative ways you do, tie your awareness of how everything detailed and analytically come together for you to now push this forward. And it's cool because opposing influences that wish to say you're delusional only say that because they're stupid. And as proof, if you were to ask them, how are you delusional? They can't tell you anything outside their opinion. They wouldn't even know that what they're saying is just their opinion. So you don't have to waste your time with idiots like that. That's just meant to test the resolve of what it is you pick up. And you want to be mindful of that, because you're very confident until you're not confident. Like, you could be the most confident person until you just decide for some erroneous reason to doubt yourself. And then all of that just kind of crumbles down. So don't really... that's the weakness of the Virgo 12th house, where before it's a superpower, it's a weakness. The 12th house is the house of, bad habits that can undo us. This is why the 6th house is the house of habits that we put around in our life to create our spirituality. So you can have paralysis of analysis. You can be so focused on the details, you forget you're a literal magician, and you can change it. You're very passionate with Mars and Aries. You take very instinctual action, and this charges the boldness of heart connected to your legacy to add this sense of beauty and polishing. So Venus on the MC can give modeling gigs. Kylie Jenner has an aspect like this, and she's in the beauty industry. I love using her as an example because she literally sells cosmetics, and that's Venusian. Of course, she has it in Virgo, so it's physical cosmetics. In Leo, this is going to be like the performer on stage, the ideals of righteousness and courage and your quality, which are very beautiful, and clashes with the intensity of your soul. So sometimes you'll feel like you don't want to be in the spotlight, but sometimes Venus is like, no, I look too good. I'm not going to just stay inside. Like, I'm going to show people how fucking amazing I look. So, it's just trying to balance those two elements here. But regardless, very, 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 very powerful, especially when bringing into account the intuitive nature of this intuition and your healing, which will be also very vulnerably felt, but something that you unconsciously can express so that you can teach people the philosophy of sincerity by leading by example. Let's ask the questions you wanted to know now here. What aspect in my chart has the biggest positive influence or my greatest strength? And in what ways can I nurture, cultivate, enhance it in my life? Personally, I'm going to say your soul, because you are your soul. You are your core. And if we're talking about strength, Scorpio is the second strongest zodiac sign. You don't have Aquarius. So this is really the strongest part of your chart, because this is the core of your being. At the core of your being, not only do you have Pluto, the lord of the underworld, which links you to the Osiris element, you have supernatural abilities as a part of this. This is a god soul. You have the soul of a god, okay? But it's deeper than that, right? I don't want to say you're this god or that god, because what you are is beyond all of that. What's very important is you're pure, and this is tied to your value. And whoever has a pure soul is the winner of life. So like, just know that regardless of what you go through, you always have this extreme purity within. And the more you focus within and take back that power within and come from within to share this pureness and wisdom, right? You got the sauce. Libra risings have second house Scorpio. Scorpio's the sauce. Second house is what you have. So you got the sauce. Your soul is extremely saucy. And so you are a source of wisdom. This is your greatest strength. You don't need to look outside of this for that. So the more you cultivate what you feel within, the more you laugh at others who try and undermine your value because they're extremely insecure and they're intimidated a lot by how powerful and skilled you are. The more you take back this power and just laugh at other people trying to, stop you, which they can't. So it's just something to keep in mind. What aspect in my chart has major negative impact influence? And where will I see this prevalent in my life? Any suggestions on how to combat this, rather to lessen the influence? So the major negative impact, negative and positive, is purely subjective. You have negative energies. The earth and water are negative. The fire and air are positive, right? So every single aspect can be negative or positive. However, the most challenging aspect that I would say you have is the Sun square Saturn, because you can very powerfully inhibit yourself by not allowing yourself to communicate a lot of the details you see because you don't see them as real yet. But you're picking up on an experience that is currently happening. And as you focus on it and bring it into awareness, that's what creates it. So you want to make sure with this Saturn Uranus, outside influences can enable you to block out your own true feelings because it's not logical enough. This will drive you into paralysis of analysis. So you don't necessarily want to allow this to keep you hidden and isolated. You want to use this as your power to speak unconventionally. You're not here to say normal ideas. You're here to break people out of old tradition, to innovate old systems. And this negative, challenging aspect is the most positive when you now switch the perception of it and don't allow yourself to be bogged in, but you actually actively harness this. Is there any particular transit I should keep in mind for 2023? How can I expect this to manifest in my life? So many transits, but first, Jupiter is literally a degree away from both of our 8-degree Mars. This is going to completely boost you forward and align you with how you can move forward in your legacy. We also want to see Jupiter going into your 7th house in Taurus with the eclipse. That's going to manifest more unconventional quality of relationships to break you through. The South Node has already unlocked your moon. So I want to say Jupiter is going to be an amazing boost moving forward. Saturn is going to get ready to transit your North Node and also unlock through karma elements of your destiny. Can you elaborate more on this specifically of the MC squaring your ascendant? MC squaring your ascendant lightly like this really just challenges you to balance and stay true to who you are as an artist that put yourself out there in the light. Because the square to the Scorpio doesn't like the spotlight. Not all the time. Sometimes they lust for it, but they look up to Leo, but sometimes they like to be private. So you want to make sure you maintain this purity within, but you still allow yourself to get out your comfort zone. And when your heart feels like it, as long as it's in integrity with how pure you want to be, all right, as long as it's not fake. Sometimes Venus could be fake where she wants to go out, but you don't feel like going out. And it's not Venus being fake. It's just the Leo urge to just show. So if you can balance these, then you can, of course, meet both of these. Okay. Is there any specific transit in 2023 I should be aware of? that will have major impact or change to their life. That honestly was the same as 3, so I'm gonna say Jupiter again. But also in August, the South Node is going to go into Libra and unlock your personality. So August, when all of this is on your MC, you're gonna be aware of how you're taking your life to the next level, evolving your lifestyle to the next level, and you're unlocking your personality, and you're gonna feel more like yourself as you extend this towards dealing with other people. How can I improve my relationships with my son, family, or friends? And how can I create more success in my career? All of that is really going to come down to tapping into who you truly are, because all of this Scorpio energy is opposing Uranus in Taurus. It's bringing out the core of your being. And so the more you don't hold back being your eccentric self, like especially with Neptune that's opposite your sun, the more you try and fit yourself to be what other people want you to be, it's going to deteriorate the relationship. The more you actually stay true to yourself, even if that rubs other people the wrong way, the more you're going to be better for people around you, because who you really are, other people need to experience. It's just, it could be very intense for certain people. So don't hold yourself back. And it's not in a way where it's like, don't dim your light. You have to be the realest. Like, you're purely real. And you know what? If that's too harsh for some people, it is what it is. But don't hold that back. It's a very difficult thing for Scorpio energies to do because it's so intense, but you'll be all right, especially with career success. Everything comes back to your soul. So right now, be willing to do more in how, with Jupiter expanding your lifestyle, you can explore more. But yeah, that in a nutshell is your chart. I hope you enjoyed this report. Looking forward to your feedback. And until next time.